This is the software, which may be installed on any computer or laptop. For the installation, there is one double-layer DVD and the product key. Once it is installed, the entire syllabus will be in the system. Internet is not required at all. For the 9th standard, 2 packages are there. One consists of math and science, and second is of social science and English, consists of history, geography, civics, economics, English grammar and English writing skills. Once it is installed, this type of icon will be there on your computer screen. Just double-click the icon, and you will go to login page. While installing, you may create the ID as well as the password with your name. Simply click login. This software is available from 6th standard to 12th standard, but with one package, you will get the syllabus of only one standard. This is the demo ID, so syllabus of all the standards is there. Otherwise, whatever standard we will install in your system, only that will be there. As you are in the 9th standard, we will see the syllabus of 9th standard. This is 9th standard, Math. In your Math book, 15 chapters are there. Same 15 chapters are here. Clicking on this folder, name of the chapters will be visible. Your first chapter is Number System, second is Polynomials, third is Coordinate Geometry. Whatever chapter you want to see, click on that chapter, and the name of the lessons will be there. Here is the name of the chapter, Number System. In this chapter, 4 lessons are there. First lesson is Irrational Numbers. In each and every lesson, there is lesson, summary, examples, experiments and exercise. Clicking here, this lesson will start.
Welcome to the lesson on irrational numbers. At the end of this lesson, you will be able to define irrational numbers and represent irrational numbers on a number line. You must have guessed that these numbers are not rational numbers. Such numbers are called irrational numbers. To understand an irrational number, we'll recall the definition of rational numbers. Numbers that can be written in the form of p upon q, where p and q are both integers and q is not equal to 0, are called rational numbers. The collection of rational numbers is denoted with the letter q. Now, let's consider the numbers that are remaining. Can these numbers be expressed in the form of p upon q? No, none of these numbers can be written in the form of p upon q. Let's read out the formal definition of irrational numbers. Numbers which cannot be expressed in the form of p upon q, where p and q are integers and q is not equal to 0, are called irrational numbers. The collection of irrational numbers is denoted with q bar. Next, let's see where these numbers can be placed on the number line. We'll begin with the representation of square root 2 on the number line. The method that we are about to discuss was discovered by the Greeks. Let's see how they represented these numbers on the number line. Consider a right-angled triangle OAB. Its base OA and height AB is 1 unit each. Here we need to find the hypotenuse OB. Recall the Pythagoras theorem that states, in a right-angled triangle, the square of the hypotenuse is equal to the sum of the squares of the other two sides. Applying this theorem to triangle OAB, we'll get this equation. On substituting the values of OA and AB, we get OB square is equal to 2. Therefore, OB is equal to the square root of 2. If we represent OB on the number line, it means we are representing the value of the square root of 2. The vertex O of the triangle must coincide with the 0 on the number line. The vertex A will coincide with 1 on the number line. In order to represent the square root of 2 on the number line, mark the length OB with the help of a compass. Then, taking O as the center, we'll draw an arc on the horizontal line. Let's mark the point of intersection of the arc on the number line as C. The distance between O to C is the square root of 2. Hence, point C represents the square root of 2 on the number line. Similarly, we can represent square root of 3 on the number line.
This way, this lesson is going on. Anytime you may pause, play, move forward from here, move backward from here. Once this slide will finish, it will say click to continue. You have to click here for going to the next slide. From here may go to the previous slide, and here is the content of this lesson. First was introduction 22 seconds, objective 10 seconds. After completion of the lesson or in between, if you want to revise any particular slide, you may click that slide and it will play again. Otherwise, clicking here, lesson will continue. Once the lesson will finish, there will be summary. Summary means the main theme of that particular lesson is in the written format, or we may say ready-made notes are available based on the lesson itself. Then will be examples. These are the solved examples. It will be solved here step by step.
Find the 5 equivalent rational numbers of 12 upon 15. To find the equivalent of 2 rational numbers, we can multiply or divide its numerator and denominator with the same number, so that the value of the rational number does not change. Let us multiply the numerator and the denominator with the numbers 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. On multiplying with 2 in the numerator and denominator, we get 24 upon 30.
This way, it will be solved here step by step. This is example number 1. Then will be 2, 3. 3 examples are there, no experiment, as this is the math lesson. In case of science, all the experiments will be there. Then will be an exercise. This type of exercise will be there after each and every lesson. In this exercise, 20 questions are there. This is the first question. These are the options. You will choose the right option and click for next. If the answer is right, question number will turn into green. If the answer is wrong, it will turn into red. Suppose you made a mistake or don't know the answer of any question, you may click here, view solution. Solution will be there. In this exercise, solution of each and every question is with the question itself. With completion of this, your lesson is over. Then you may go for next lesson, next lesson, next lesson. Similar way, all your math chapters are here. Here is the explanation of the chapters. Apart from this, there is another folder for the math, that is math solutions. Clicking here, same chapters will be there. We was going through this chapter. Behind this lesson in your book, these are the exercises. You may choose any of the exercise. For example, 1.4, clicking here, this is the first question.
In this question, we have to visualize 3.765 on a number line using the successive magnification. Now, we have to locate the number 3.765 on the number line, and we know that this number lies between 3 and 4.
It will be solved here step by step as teacher is teaching on the board. Step by step handwritten writing of the teacher with the explanation. Anytime you may pause, play, move forward from here,
7, 6.
move backward from here. This is exercise number 1.4, problem number 1. Clicking here, this is problem number 2. If you want to go to any other exercise, click the exercise. You may click here, all the problems will be there. Whatever you want to see, click that. It will start teaching as teacher is teaching on the board. This way, each and every sum of each and every exercise of the entire math book is solved as teacher is teaching on the board. If you want to go to any other chapter, click the chapter, all the exercises will be there. No class teacher, no tuition teacher will be able to teach each and every sum. So here is math syllabus and math solutions. Now we will go through science. These are the science chapter. For example, we will go through the chapter. This is the chapter matter in our surroundings. Again, 2 lessons are there. First lesson is states of matters. Clicking here, lesson will start.
Ice is solid. Solids have definite shapes and volumes. Why can't you walk on water, just like you did on the snow? You can't walk on water because it is a liquid, and liquids do not have definite shapes. However, liquids do have definite volumes. Liquids also take up the shape of the container they are in. Watch out for those clouds. There could be heavy turbulence in them. Can you sit on the clouds or surf on them as you would do on snow or in water? You can't, because clouds are made of water vapor, which is the gaseous state of water. Gases do not have definite shapes or volumes. This lesson is about the states of matter and how matter is composed of particles whose behavior determines the states of matter. On completion of this lesson, you will be able to define the word matter, list the properties of solids, liquids, and gases, list the attributes of the particles of matter, and explain the three states of matter in terms of the attributes of the particles of matter. Before we move on, let's look at the properties of solids.
Again, this way this lesson is going on.
Why does-
Anytime you may pause, play, move forward, move backward. See this.
Particles in matter are in a constant state of random motion, and hence they possess kinetic energy. They also attract each other, but this mutual force of attraction is effective only when the particles are very close to each other. When the particles are bound together firmly, as you can see here, they form solids. In solids, the particles simply vibrate about their fixed positions because their kinetic energy is low and not enough to let them break away from their mutual force of attraction. Therefore, solids have definite shapes and volumes. For the same reason, they do not flow or diffuse. In liquids, the kinetic energies of the particles are more than in solids, and the particles are not bound to any fixed positions. They move around freely, at random, throughout the liquid. However, they do not have enough kinetic energy to break out of the boundary of the liquid mass. That explains why liquids do not have definite shapes and flow or diffuse freely, but they do have definite volumes. Also, compared to solids, there are more spaces between the particles of liquids, but not enough to make liquids compressible. In gases, the particles are not packed together at all, because their kinetic energy.
Okay, this is the lesson. Anytime you may pause, move forward, backward, and here is the content of this lesson. If you want to go to any particular slide, you may click that slide and it will play again. Once the lesson is completed, there will be summary. Again, summary means the main theme of that particular lesson in the written format. Now, in this lesson, there are no example experiment. Next lesson of the same chapter is having the experiment. In case of science, whatever lesson of the science is having the experiment, you will be able to do all your experiments on the computer itself. We will see this experiment.
Please go through the objective and the instructions for the experiment. Click on the OK button to continue after reading. We will, in the process of the experiment, use the apparatus set on the right side of your screen. Please click on the highlighting apparatus when instructed. Click on the ice cubes to add it into the beaker. Observe the arrangement of molecules in the ice. Click on the Bunsen burner to ignite.
They will tell what to do, why to do. Simply you have to follow the instructions.
Now, once again, observe the changes in the movement of the molecules.
This is one of the experiment. Same way, whatever lesson of the science is having the experiment, you will be able to know on computer itself.
A block of ice, which is the solid phase of water, is then heated to its melting point at 0 degrees Celsius, and again further heated to its boiling point at 100 degrees Celsius to release water vapor. Thus, the temperature at which the ice melts is 0 degrees Celsius, and the temperature at which water vaporizes is 100 degrees Celsius.
After the experiment, there will be an exercise like math. 20 questions are there. This is the first question. These are the options. You will choose the option and click for next. If the answer is right, question number will turn into green. If the answer is wrong, it will turn into red. Suppose you made a mistake or don't know the answer, solution will be there. Again, with completion of this lesson will be over. Similar way, all your science chapters are here. Here is the explanation of the chapters in terms of lesson, summary, example, experiment, exercise. Apart from that, there is another folder that is science solutions. Clicking here, these are the chapters. We was going through this chapter. Behind the chapter in your book, there is an exercise. This is the first question with the solution. Question number 2, 3, 4. Otherwise, you may click here, all the question answers, fill in the blanks, true and false, calculation, diagram, numericals, everything of the entire science book is there. So for the math syllabus, math solution. For the science syllabus and science solutions. Apart from this, for the math and science, we are having some tests also. Clicking here, these are the unique tests. Clicking here, test will be there only for the math and science. This is 9th standard math, 9th standard science. Clicking here, these are the chapters. First is the lesson test on plus mark. These are the chapters. First chapter, number system. These many tests are there. Polynomials, these many tests are there. Coordinate geometry, these many tests are there. Now these tests are based on lesson as well as chapter. Lesson is a smaller portion of the chapter. Whatever test you want to go through, click on this arrow. It says 60 minutes time, 15 marks, 10 questions. Clicking here, test will start. This is the first question. These are the options. Choose the right option and click for next. Choose the right option and click for next. Here you can't see whether you are right or wrong. First you have to complete the test and you have to complete within given time. If you will not complete within the time, the moment time will finish, system will close the paper and will show the result whatever you have done by the time. If you will complete within, click done, yes, and you will get the results. Here you can see date of the test, time of the test, total marks, scored marks, percentage. Total questions answered correctly, answered wrongly, not answered. Now you can review the answers. This is question number 1, right? Question number 2. If you want to see the solution, you can see here. Step by step solution will be there. Question number 3, 4, 5. So after completion, you can check the answer and solution of each and every question. After that, if you want, you may go for retake test. Any number of times. For each and every lesson, 2 tests will be there. For each and every chapter, 2 tests will be there. Then will be practice test. These are the model test papers based on the entire syllabus. These model test papers are for the preparation of your final exams. Test will be there for the math as well as science. We had seen the math syllabus, math solution, science syllabus, science solution. Now in our second package, there will be history, geography, civics, economics, English grammar and English writing skills. These are your history chapters. For example, the chapter Nazism and Rise of Hitler. Clicking here, these are the lessons. First lesson is Nazism and Rise of Hitler, an introduction. Clicking here, lesson will start.
6 long years, 30 countries fought ruthlessly, day and night. More than 60 million people died, and nuclear weapons were used for the first time in history. This was the Second World War, the most destructive event of modern times. The warring countries were divided into 2 military alliances, the Allied powers and the Axis powers. The Allied powers were led by the United States, the United Kingdom and France. The Axis powers were led by Germany, Italy and Japan. At the heart of the conflict was Germany, led by Adolf Hitler and his National Socialist German Workers' Party, or in short, the Nazi Party. When Hitler's party came to power in 1933, everyone started to refer to Germany as Nazi Germany.
So this is history. with the dates and all, it will be like a documentary movie. You need not to read from the book. Here you can see the history like a documentary. In case of history, there will be lesson, summary and exercise. Examples, experiments can't be there. This is the chapter, these are the lesson, all the chapters are there. Then will be geography. These are the geography chapters. Same way it will be like history only. Then is civics and then economics. These are the chapters. You may click any of the chapter. We will see this chapter, people and resources. First lesson is overview.
Let us start with a short story. Let us start with a short story. Many years ago, in a small village called Kishanpur, lived two friends, Danu and Mishri. Danu's father worked on a fishing boat. Danu's mother sold the fish at the village market. Danu's parents were not interested in sending Danu to school. They wanted him to grow big and strong quickly to help them with catching and selling fish. Mishri's parents worked as farm laborers on paddy fields. Mishri's parents wanted Mishri to study and make a good career for herself. So while Mishri started going to the village school, Danu spent all his time roaming around in the village. Mishri's parents took her to the doctor every time she was sick. Danu's parents could not afford good medical care for him, and he developed a chronic liver disease. In a few years, Mishri completed her schooling and went on to take a vocational course or training in computer applications. Danu, on the other hand, kept too sick to even get trained as a fisherman. Today, Mishri earns a good salary working in an office in a nearby city. Danu makes a meager living selling fish in the village market. Both Danu and Mishri came from the same village and from quite similar family backgrounds.
This way, this is economics. So history, geography, civics and economics will be like that. Then will be English grammar. Starting with sentences, transformation of sentences, phrases and clauses, everything of English grammar is there. To vocabulary. Whatever chapter you want to go through, for example, phrases and clauses, click on the chapter, lessons will be there. First lesson is Introduction to Phrases and Clauses. Clicking here, this lesson will start.
Welcome to this session on phrases and clauses. In this session, we will learn to distinguish between different kinds of phrases and clauses. Main clauses and subordinate clauses, noun phrase and noun clause, adjective phrase and adjective clause, adverb phrase and adverb clause. In earlier classes, we have learned that phrases are groups of words that convey incomplete meaning. We have also learned that phrases do not have their own subject and predicate. On the other hand, clauses are groups of words that convey complete meaning. Clauses have their own subject and predicate. A phrase makes more sense when it is part of a clause. For example, she has a cute baby. Here, the phrase is cute baby. Let us see a few more examples. The giraffe has a very long neck. In this example, very long is a phrase. I fell in a puddle. Here, fell in is a phrase. There is a monster under my bed. In this example, under my bed is a phrase.
After each and every lesson, there will be an activity so that whatever you will learn with the lesson, you can practice.
Let us now do an activity.
Here is the activity of this lesson. It says, click and select the appropriate phrase. The train arrived inside the platform, over the platform, behind the platform, at the platform. It is at the print.
Yes, that's right.
Click here for the next question. If you will make a mistake, it will say
Try again.
if you will make it right.
Yes, that's right.
This way, approx 10 questions will be there. Then we go for next lesson. Activity will be there. Next lesson with activity, next lesson. At the end, all the lesson will be revised. So starting with sentences up to vocabulary, everything of English grammar is there. Then will be English writing skills. It is as per syllabus. It consists of notice and message writing, email writing and diary entry, letter writing, article and newspaper reports, speech and debate writing. Okay, we will see this speech and debate writing. First is speech writing.
Welcome to this session on speech and debate writing. Let us first start with speech writing. Speech means power or act of speaking. Here are a few things to remember while preparing a speech. Open or start a speech with usual words like good morning, respected principal, sir or madam, ladies and gentlemen, etc. Focus on the main idea and arrange the related points in a sequence. Some expressions like, in my opinion, I personally feel, or hope you'll agree, may be used to bring forth your point strongly. You should discuss only related or relevant points in a lucid and easy to understand language. Here is the marking scheme for you at a glance. Keep in mind the marking scheme to score better. There are certain points that you need to remember while writing or drafting a speech. Let's take a quick look at the format. Its aim is to address a large gathering of people with your convincing and forceful words. Speech should have the power of convincing the listeners to the speaker's point of view. To put across a wide range of information orally to a vast audience. Format. Salutation. The speaker should start by greeting the chief guest, fellow speakers and the audience. It must begin with a catchy introduction, maybe by using a quotation, any statistical data or a thought-provoking question. The speaker should express his or her views on the topic with clarity of thought, accuracy of facts.
Then they will give a sample speech. You can go through the sample speech. In case of writing skills also, after the lesson, there will be an activity.
Now do an activity.
Here they will give a topic. You have to write the speech on the given topic. After that, click here. You should be able to answer these questions. You have to fill in the blanks, drag the right answer and put at the.
Yes, that's right.
If you make a mistake, it will say
Try again.
otherwise you may click here, answer will be shown. Then you may click for next, another activity will be there, another activity. So after the lesson there will be activities. You can practice whatever you will learn with the lesson. This is English writing skills. So we had seen math syllabus, math solution, science syllabus, science solution, history, geography, civics, economics, English grammar and English writing skills with the tests. Apart from this software is having some unique features. First feature is that when any of the lesson is going on, for example, force and laws of motion. This lesson is going on. If you want to note down anything, you may click here notes. The moment you will click notes, lesson will stop and notepad will open. You may write your own notes from the keyboard, whatever you want to write. After writing, save and minimize. Once you will save the notes, your notes will be here. In the future, whenever you will go for the same lesson, notes will be there. By double clicking, you can access the notes. If you want to add or delete anything further, you may do that. In a later date, if you want to see the notes only, you need not to go to the lesson. Simply click here notes. All the notes will be listed with the name of the lesson as well as the dates. If you want to see the notes for a particular subject, go to that subject. Just now we have prepared notes for 9th standard science. Only that subject's note will remain with the name of the lesson as well as the date. By double clicking, you can access the notes. Here again, if you want to add or delete anything further, you may do that. While going through the notes, if you want to recall anything from the lesson, clicking here, lesson will start from that particular point where you have prepared the notes. This way, while going through the lesson, you can access the notes. While going through the notes, you can access lesson. Then will be calendar. In this calendar, you may schedule any lesson or any test. You may prepare your own study plan. If you want to schedule test, click test. Want to schedule lesson, click lesson. Then choose the subject. For example, this is 9th standard maths. These are the chapters, number system, these are the lessons. This lesson, irrational number, just drag the lesson and drop at any date. We have scheduled this lesson for 11th of May. Similar way, we may schedule 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lessons or tests for any particular date. If you will study on that date, it will turn black like this. It means it is completed. If you will not study, next day, it will turn into red, show as an overdue event. Any particular day when you will log in the software, it will remind you what you are supposed to study today and if anything overdue. Directly you may start that lesson or test. So these are the features of this software. Altogether it consists of math, science, history, geography, civics, economics, English grammar, English writing skills with features, notes, tests and calendar. Thank you very much.